Hey everyone, I'm Arlen Bento Jr. Welcome to the Shoot Par Now Golf Show with my main man, James Stammer.
Hey everybody.
Good to see everybody out there in golf land. Hope you're having a great week. Wanted to go over some things from the golf circuits. We're actually going to be covering the American Century. That's kind of like the celebrity tour event. We're going to talk a little bit about the Scottish Open, the Genesis. And they also had a PGA Tour event, the ISCO in Kentucky.
Yeah, they played out in Louisville.
Yeah, in Louisville. So there was quite a bit going on. It was almost like hard to watch.
The women had a major in France. I mean, it was
a lot going on. But before we get started, I want to thank our sponsor tonight. This is called the One Club Trainer. If you're looking for a way to improve speed and distance, you got to check this out. This canister moves when you swing, and it tells you when you're putting the pressure correctly for speed. So if you're not making this move at the right time, then you're not really doing the swing correctly. So if you're looking for something good to practice, check out the One Club. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested in getting one. We'll talk.
You hit it further that way.
Well, speed's good. Speed's what makes it go far. And we are going to be doing our golf tip segment at the end of the show tonight. We're going to be adding that each week, so hopefully it helps you with your game. And but before we get into that, the American Century played in Lake Tahoe, Nevada.
Bro, it gotta be tough to have to play golf. Play golf at Lake Tahoe.
So I'm. It's still at Edgewood, and you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
I played some holes there.
Oh, really?
When I got married.
Oh, wow.
It's the last time I've been there. It's gorgeous.
It looks pretty on TV.
Yeah.
I've never been, but it looks.
It's spectacular.
It really does look
Lake
nice.
Tahoe's unbelievable place, and you got to drive up to them. It's like in the mountains, right? It shouldn't be there, but it's really, really nice. But the reason why we're starting with that is, one, I found that, like from just a fan standpoint, super entertaining.
Pretty entertaining, yes.
I find it super entertaining. It's kind of like what Liv sort of wanted to be, but it's just done a little more classy. Yeah. I think. Yeah. And I think it's because I like watching all of the celebrities, and again, celebrities. It's really all athletes at the end that are in contention. Yeah. And but they're good. And I watched Jake Owen play. Jake Owen went to Florida State on a golf scholarship. He became a country superstar.
Wow, I did not know that.
He's got a great golf game. Yeah. So in the end, this guy Joe Pavelski won. Yeah. And he shot like 73, and they use a Stableford system. So
you got points. You got 73 points.
Yeah, points. So you get so much for a par and so much for a birdie and so much for an eagle. And he actually eagled the last hole. He played great. Like, I was shocked how good he hit the ball. And I was kind of rooting for Steph Curry. Steph Curry's a really, really good golfer. Yeah. And he had made, they jinxed him. They're like, Steph has made 28, hadn't made a bogey in 28 holes. And he goes to 18 and hits it out of bounds and hits it, punches in the water and makes some, it doesn't hurt his score, right? Because it doesn't matter if he makes 10.
Yeah, you just get zero points.
Get no points. But he was right there. Also, John Smoltz, who's a pitcher, a Hall of Fame pitcher, he's always been in contention here, because he's good, and he just went bananas on the backside. I forget how many. He must have made 4 birdies coming in or something crazy, and an eagle, and he almost caught the leaders.
He tried. He got close.
Yeah, he had a really good round. And also, what kind of got me on the tournament was I started to watch Charles Barkley had a really good round. He had 9 points, I think, on Thursday or Friday.
He wasn't terrible for a
No, he hit great shots. The glitch is gone. I know he worked on his game. He figured out how to fix that craziness that he had going on. But Did you ever know the story of the hitch, like where it came from?
No.
Oh, so I'll tell you. I know the whole thing. Well, as much as I think I know it. But so Charles Barkley, when he was playing in Phoenix, was an 8 handicap. He was already like breaking 80 a lot. Okay.
Wow.
And when he retired, he figured he needs to get better at golf, right? So he started taking lessons, and somehow the drills, which I can see it. I coach a lot of drills, but the drills kind of ruined the natural flow of his swing. And, I'm going to guess that it was probably a little over the top and maybe not so good, but good enough to like athletically move around the golf course.
Yeah.
So anyway, the drills turned into all of these glitches because now he lost his authentic swing, and now he couldn't find that, and now he's got all these drills and changes, and that didn't work.
A mental block.
Well, and then you start playing in tournaments with that, and he's a celebrity, and they want to see him, and then all of a sudden, it's like having the yips or the shanks, or it's the same thing. Basically, he had the yips with his swing. It wasn't a yip with his putter, which we've seen on good players. Mm-hmm. It's not the yips with his chips, which we've seen in good players.
Yeah.
It's not the yips with the driver like Ian Baker Finch did when he had to quit golf because he lost it.
Yeah.
It was his actual swing.
Wow.
So basically, he reached the point where he hit rock bottom. He gives a lot of credit to Stan Utley, the former tour player turned kind of pro-level coach guy. He's a good coach, I understand. And Stan kind of got him back to just swinging the club athletically, correctly, and his game came all the way back. But remember, he was an 8. So it's like he knew how to play. He knew how to play. Yeah, he just lost his swing. So I always think about Bagger Vance. When there's a line in there where Will Smith and, that whole movie, it's a really good movie. And he says, you've lost your swing. He's telling the main character, right? He's saying you have to find your authentic swing. And I actually believe that. I think we all have what we call authentic. Now, hopefully our authentic is good. Otherwise golf gets pretty hard. But I enjoyed watching Barkley's highlights. I thought
he eagled one of the par 4s.
He did. He had a bunch.
And everybody went berserk when he did that. That was what was wild.
He hit some chip shots, some really nice, like, little chips. But, I was telling another person in lessons today, it's a tournament to watch, but every pin is almost right in the middle of the green. Like, it's not like they're tucking it. They're not making it hard. Like, if you hit it in play, you're right at it. Because a lot of the shots were just rolling. It's almost like the pins look like they were in bowls. And I know they didn't do that on purpose, but it just seemed like everything was going to the hole. Where
they want everybody to play well, have fun.
They did. And, it's on the lake, and there's that hole where everybody's doing, and they run around. And the par 3, I think it's 17 or whatever it is. But, man, I enjoyed watching it. I really did. I hate to say it, but I kind of enjoyed watching it than the 2 other events.
Yeah. It was completely different than what we're used to watching.
But it was good golf, though. I actually enjoyed the golf. Yeah, I just liked the swings are great. And I just loved it. It was great.
Yeah, Steph Curry did he have a hole-in-one?
Yeah.
And then, the guy that used to play for the Phillies, the shortstop for the Phillies that does baseball announcing now, he had his first ace of his life in this event.
Pretty impressive, right?
That's pretty good.
So while that was going on in Lake Tahoe, the PGA Tour was in Scotland for the Scottish Open, which I don't understand how that works.
It was a dual event. They and the DP World Tour. It was a co-sponsored event between the two tours.
But all the big names went basically over there.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good tournament. This guy,
and a couple of them weren't happy about the charter that they had to get over there, and
there was a lot of griping. Yeah.
There wasn't enough caviar on the plate.
Somebody picked up. I saw a storyline about Rory McIlroy was complaining about slow play. About the guy who won, this guy Chris Gotterup, and I think it kind of like backfired because I guess Gotterup was getting in trouble and Rory was complaining or said something. I don't know how it worked out. I just kind of heard secondhand. But Gotterup, boy, that's a talented dude, and he hit some shots.
You playing the final pairing on Sunday with Rory McIlroy, and you beat him by 2 shots to win the event.
And he lost it too. They caught him, and then he just closed and made a great putt on the last so I enjoyed watching that. The course kind of looked like St. Andrews. It's kind of like, I forgot what name it was, but it looked like the Scottish.
Yeah, they all have that links,
that dry brown.
The links feel is pretty crazy.
Yep. And then
I don't think there was a level line on the entire golf course. Anytime you saw like the aerial view,
it was always up and down.
Everything had a hole or a slope.
Right.
It was crazy.
It's weird when they do that split tour stuff, and I'm going to guess that there was a lot more prize money in Scotland than there was in the tournament that was in Kentucky. So the PGA Tour at the same time was running in Kentucky. The ISCO Classic, guy named William Mower something, Mou.
Moen?
Yeah.
Yeah, however they pronounce that.
And he had a 61 and shot
Yeah.
went bananas, but he only shot -10 for the week.
Yeah. He had it all one day.
Goodness gracious! But he got a tour win.
That's what he said.
He's
in. Goes, I just need one good day.
And he's in the Masters, and
Yeah.
he played well. So it's really hard, I think, to watch so much at the same. Like you said, the women were playing a major.
Yeah.
And then the seniors were playing a championship. I don't know if it was a major.
It wasn't a major,
but it was like a big event.
Yeah, they had an event going. Yeah.
Holy mackerel! And I didn't even know if Liv had an event this weekend. How much golf is that?
That's a lot of golf.
Woo! It's a lot of golf to watch.
Yeah.
Almost like can't quite pick up on.
All we lacked was a long drive competition, and we'd have had every corner covered.
Now you said you got to play. You went to go play Fairwinds.
Played up at Fairwinds in north end of Fort Pierce yesterday. Yep. It was warm.
Yeah,
it was
hot. Yeah, it was hot.
But actually, it wasn't horrible. I was surprised.
Mm.
Rough's a little rough.
Summer rough is no joke.
It's kind of wiry, and the ball really
it's
jumped and sat down.
Now, no offense to people that play up north, because you have rough too.
It was hard.
Our summer rough, you can't get it. Ours is like, you think the U.S. Open rough's tough. This Bermuda rough that grows like this, and the ball. I mean, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it literally
grabs your ball. It disappears.
And you try to hit it with your iron, and it either flings it open, or
it's not like a rye or a bend or a fish, whatever that is in there. Yeah. You can still it's long, and you can get through the length. Here, that thing it'll grab it.
Yeah.
But that's always in good shape. They've always done a good job.
Yeah, they verticut the greens maybe a week or so ago, so they're still coming in. Yep. So the greens were a little bit slow, but they were rolling nice.
So we finally got a lot of rain in our area. It's kind of weird. Like we had rain and got really dry again. Even at my course, the Saints, the ponds were super low. And when there's not a lot of rain, the greens and stuff, everything looks good, but you can't get all the growth back from the wintertime. So, but we had a lot of rain, and my course is actually closed. The Saints is closed Monday, Tuesday. They're going to be aerifying all of the course, the tee boxes, the fairways, the rough. So that's always kind of cool because that grows back quick, but they won't cut our rough till I don't know, after this. So no, because people can't play it it's a public golf course, and again, it's not.
You make it too tight, you slow everything.
Oh, down. You can't. I mean, even for me and the boys, we have I do competitive high school training every Friday. This time of year, the class is relatively small. It's like 6 or 8 people at the most, and my girls don't come out. And they'll all rush out here at the end of July when high school starts. We'll get ready for high school early August, but we play every Friday. We try to play 9 holes, and we usually play 2-man, or we play a 2-man scramble or something because it's just too roughy. But it's fun. But of course, it's playing hard. Believe it or not, we didn't have a lot of rain on Friday. I hit some shots, like good balls into the green, and I got bouncers, like U.S. Open, 7-iron, hit the green and go
kangarooed up
20 yards over number 1, and I flagged it, and I was like, and I found my pitch mark, and it wasn't even on the backside. I was like, why is it bouncing? And you walk up on the greens, I mean, they were firm. But again, we had all this rain over the weekend, so I'm kind of curious to see when we go out there. I probably won't get out there. Oh, I got to go to tomorrow. I got camp tomorrow. Yeah. Even though the course is closed, I still got a little camp.
Driving range, though.
Yeah, driving short game hole. So we're going to work our kids tomorrow, small group tomorrow, but it'll still be interesting. I might even take them out and let them watch. Of course, get torn up. They might think that's cool. But I'm glad you got out to play.
It's like a scene out of a Stephen King movie.
To watch it all torn up?
Because we played one year, our Florida Golf Writers Association, we played up in St. Augustine, and they were waiting for us to finish, and then they were going to aerify everything. And they literally they were coming behind us. As the last group would finish a hole, they'd start tearing it up. And it literally was like a scene out of a Stephen
because
King movie.
they were ripping it up so much where they were chasing you down the fairway. Trying to get off the course so we can rip it to shreds.
So we can tear it up. Yeah, it was crazy.
I don't know if people know, but a lot of people, I'm shocked that people don't know that a golf course needs to get torn up or aerified, the greens multiple times a year and fairways at least once.
Yeah.
because the grass grows. It's like a potted plant. If you grow a plant and it starts to get big, how it dries out because there's no place for the roots to grow. So you either gotta replant and get a bigger pot, or you have to go in and clean out the roots and give it some growth, right? So the golf course needs that. So it does need to be aerified. You can't have a good golf course without proper maintenance. But people get all mad, right? Because the greens are bad for a little bit, and then our course will look terrible for like 3 weeks before it heals, and they can recut it. But man, the best time to play, I know it sounds terrible, but it's always like when it's the worst heat. Yeah. Because once they're done with the course aerifications and they can kill some stuff, like some things like grass, weeds and stuff, and then the course will just get so vibrant and thick. Yeah. It's just unbelievably gorgeous. Fluffy lies and and then everybody shows up here in, January, February, where the grass is about that thick. Yeah. And there's no grass. Of course, you're
having a hard time growing it back in.
It's so hard to grow it back in, no matter what anybody does, but it's still fun. But we're having a good summer. I think we don't have any storms really brewing yet. It's kind of early, but
everything's up in North Florida now.
Yeah, stay away. Yeah.
We got a little bit of a yell yesterday. It was a heck of a storm that pushed through here yesterday.
Yeah, there was a lot of rain yesterday, but I actually went out to we got to go out to Okeechobee, my grandson's 3rd birthday party. We didn't get anything. It was hot and it was fun. We were at a splash park out there, like a sports complex, but we didn't catch any. Now, when we were coming back in the afternoon, you could see along the coast just gray wall
clouds.
Yeah, gray wall. It looked like out of a movie. Like, is that where we're going? And we didn't catch it. We got home, and then later on it kind of came through, whipped around a little bit. It gets creepy though. Some of those afternoons from the big ones, like my power. Did you lose any power?
No,
we lost power twice.
Oh wow! No, we didn't lose power.
It couldn't take the wind or whatever, and kind of got a little beat up. But so anyway, we're full swing golf down here. You got anything going up in golf? What you got going on?
Well, this week we have the Open Championship.
Oh, how can I not remember that?
The last major of the year, the oldest major of the year. 153rd playing of the Open Championship.
Oh, that's why they're in the Scottish Open. That's why they're there. I just put that together. Golly.
Royal Portrush. Last time they played there, Shane Lowry won.
Man, I like him.
This was where he won 6 years ago.
So this will be a good field.
It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but he won.
I remember when he won
during the pandemic. Right, they played that with hardly anybody there. But it'll be interesting to see how he does. One of the interesting things I read, I was reading about Bryson DeChambeau. He had a lot of issues at the U.S. Open.
Right.
And one of his complaints at the U.S. Open was he was putting too much spin on the ball, especially side spin, I guess, because he was missing fairways by a lot.
Speed does that.
So he's been tinkering around, and he one of his complaints was, I got to find a ball that matches my clubs, that matches my swing. He's like the science. He's like the science guy. Well, one of the things that he's trying out now. You hate to see guys change equipment right before a major.
Oh, he will.
But he won't. And one of the things he's done is he wanted them to move the center of gravity closer to the heel.
On his clubs.
On his irons. On probably all his clubs, I guess, all the way through his set.
From the center.
From the center of gravity, instead of being in where you're used to the squeeze, they're going to push it, I guess, through weighting and some other stuff. They're going to move it a little closer to the heel, because that's where
his sweet spot is
right now. Where his sweet spot is with his swing, and it'll be interesting to see, how much of a difference that makes. And knowing him, it's going to make some difference, or he wouldn't do it. So he's probably got all the numbers calculated, figured out.
I didn't pick up on that story. I haven't read it. I'm going to go look for it.
Yeah.
But the question is he moving it to the heel because he's in the toe a lot? Because that would make sense, right? Yeah. Like if he's in the toe, right? Because he's not going to move it to the heel if he's in the heel. You don't want to be in the heel because that's too close to a shank, right?
Yeah, that's asking for trouble.
Yeah. So he must be struggling with catching the ball in the face. Now, how about you? So I struggle with on the toe. Like if I'm not swinging well, I'm towards the toe. Yeah. I think most of us are kind of towards the toe.
I think I stand. I get comfortable, and when I swing, the club never comes back to the same spot I had it at.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like, that's just from,
And it's usually, a little toe side of center out towards the toe.
So it's not uncommon for like good players. You even see that they'll line up the ball on the hosel when they set up so that they catch it more in the middle of the face because they don't want to hit it on the toe.
Yeah.
So DeChambeau maybe is going through that, but then he's like, hey, just move the center. So I can't. I lost track of what he's playing, but maybe the clubs he has, the center of gravity is something that, like you said, they can move it through weights or something.
Yeah,
be interesting. So if he wins, then you got to give him credit for it.
Yeah, we'll see how he fares.
So here's my take on why I don't think, and I don't know Royal Portrush like back of my hand, but normally the Open requires more finesse play. It's not you just bomb it and spin it close, right?
Well, that and one of the things that Scottie Scheffler said this past week, they were asking him about it, and they were asking him to compare the two Opens, the U.S. Open and the British Open, or the Open Championship. And he said, well, what he liked about the Open Championship and links golf, he says, is, okay, you missed the green. You have
so many ways,
all kinds of ways to get the ball
very creative
onto the green.
Yeah.
You can flop it up, you can run it up, you can putt it up, you can bounce it up. He says you can play all kinds of different shots to get the ball near the hole, depending on what you
the U.S. Open, you don't.
He says the U.S. Open, you're just going to have to try to gouge it out of the rough, no matter what.
Yep.
He said that's what he doesn't like about the U.S. Open.
It's only one type of shot.
You've got one. They give you one shot, and that's all you have.
Yeah, it's always that fast green in the thick grass. That really handsy, cutty, floaty lob, and get lucky.
Yep.
And you won't see that. In the Open, you'll see a lot of they'll bump and run fairways. They'll do all kinds of crazy shots.
100 yards out, and they're bumping it up there.
They will
keep it out of the wind, or.
So that does make that tournament unique. And again, if you think about the majors, right? In the TPC, which I consider, the Players' Championship is probably the fifth major. It's the same, right? But Masters is unique just because of the venue, right? Mm-hmm. The PGA, I always think it's the weakest one because it just kind of depends on where they're holding it. I just kind of feel like I almost wish that was match play. You couldn't really do it for television, but it used to be match play, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But that's kind of like it's a big event because it is the PGA. It's a major. I get it. Yeah. The Open's cool because I know you don't care for the Open as much as I do, but
U.S. Open,
because it's hard and make it crazy. But I do like the fact that you can qualify and go get it.
Yeah.
As the Open, right? Because they have Open qualifying just like we do here, right? Yeah. So basically, I don't know what the system is for their Open qualifier. I know what ours is here.
I know they got play-in tournaments just like
a local qualifier.
Qualifiers. In fact, I lost the guy's name. I had a picture of it on my phone a couple of weeks ago. Young teenager from Estonia, became the first golfer from Estonia to qualify for the Open Championship, and he did it by holding out from the fairway on the last hole
to win, to
get that spot.
Oh, we got to follow him. We got to find his name. Talk about it. That's a great story.
That was.
But that's what makes those two Opens to me the most valuable. I mean, the most impressive.
Anybody can get in if your game's good enough. Yeah.
I'm curious to see how he does.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Estonia, huh? I got to look up that geography-wise. I know I kind of have an idea where it's at, but I don't know exactly. Well, that's a cool story in itself. We got to look him up. Anything else you got going on? You want to talk about or cover?
Let's see. What do we got? We had Grace Kim. She won her first major championship.
Oh, is that who won the major?
That's who won the ladies' major over in France, the Evian Championship. I guess they had a lot of water.
Yeah.
Had a little water to drink.
Well, it's nice water.
So congratulations to her.
Congratulations to Grace Kim.
I would have thought Grace Kim,
that she would have won by now.
When I saw it was her first major, I'm like, is it a different Grace Kim? I mean, there's a lot of Kims on tour.
Yeah.
Just like there's a lot of Lees.
Yeah.
But no, I was surprised. I thought she would have had one.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's good that we mentioned the ladies' majors. A lot of people. I mean, nobody says in the comments, but obviously we're covering primarily the PGA Tour, and it's not because we don't care about the ladies' tour. It's just only so much time in a short show. Yeah. We don't want to sit here for.
And we're guys.
I actually like the women's game a lot, but it's it's hard to follow both. You know, like the PGA Tour, I watch it. It's in front of me. Mm-hmm. It's not like I don't watch the ladies, but I only have so much time, and I tend to watch the men. So we're doing our best. But they play great golf. You know, they do a good job, and you know, good for her. Yeah. A major's a major, right, on any level. Yeah. So we're gonna. This is gonna be it for the show for this week. But stay tuned because we are gonna do our golf tip. We're gonna talk about over the top swings, and I'm gonna use a little swing trainer, a blast from the past, and kind of hopefully you understand what we're going to work on, and I think you're going to like it. So anyway, thanks for watching the show this week. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you leave a comment, it really does help a ton. So if you could, leave a comment, ask a question. We'd really appreciate it. And yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Yeah. Enjoy the Open.
Enjoy the Open. Take care. Hey everyone, it's Arlen Bento Jr. with James Stammer here to give you your golf tip of the week, Shoot Par Now Golf Show. What I wanted to help you with today is the dreaded over the top, which creates the slice in the swing. Okay, so Jimmy, go ahead and just pretend there's a ball there.
All right.
We're gonna show people what over the top means. Okay, go to the top of your swing. This is his backswing, right? So over the top means in transition, this club's gonna get out in front of his hands. He's going to swing across his swing plane, which is kind of the line from his body and his shaft when he sets up, and he's going to cut across the ball, leaving the face wide open, and it causes the ball to go way to the left and slide to the right. And that's like the death move for players, right?
And it's a common move.
It is. I would say 90% of my golf instruction is fixing over the top. So I'm going to tell you why you go over the top, and I'm going to give you a couple of fixes on how to get better. So here's why. It feels natural. It just does. When people take a club to the top of the swing and they look down and they see the ball, their whole concept is just take the club and whip it down on the ball. That's natural, right? But that's not what happens in the golf swing. What happens in the golf swing is go to the top. The club actually goes to the top, and the club will actually shallow. There's this little move where the shoulder kind of drops. The club will shallow before it starts to come around and find impact. And so that move where the club actually shallows, which is elusive, but basically that's in every good player swing. Because there's never been a really good player that has come over the top that much. Bruce Litsky may have been the closest to a steep player, but he could never really play on tour very long. He always had to take time off and go reorganize because it just gets worse and worse and worse. So what we got here is this is a very it's still available, but this is called the inside approach. You ever remember seeing the infomercials on this? It was very, very popular. It's not hard to make. You could probably make it with a piece of PVC. Yeah. And a little, floaty.
Pool noodle.
Yeah. And basically what this is really good about is it forces players not to come over the top. So if you put the club right here and you make a couple just small swings, if James doesn't hit the inside approach, he's not coming over the top. That feel weird to you?
Yeah, a little bit. I got a little off balance. Yeah. I'll tell you what, it definitely makes you think about it.
It does. And for some of us, for as much instruction as I give and showing people how to do things and trying to drill it out of systems, sometimes a good training like this will really help people feel stuff right away. So funny story. So last week, one of my kids that I coach, who's trying really hard, but he's really over the top. Okay. And so my playful word when people come over the top is I call them Tomahawk Joe. Okay, so I feel like they're taking a big hatchet and coming way over the top, and they're just throwing a tomahawk at the ground. So I call it Tomahawk Joe. And so he's in there taking a lesson, and I'm working with him, and I get to the point where he just has to feel it. So I put this thing down, and I tell him, "You make 20 swings with the ball, and you hit all 20. I'll give you $20." He rips off 20 in a row. Boom, boom, boom. All the balls are going straight. Swings on plane. Lines are good. And I go, you son of a gun there.
You had it all along.
You had it all along. And then, true to form, he's my partner on Friday, right?
Okay.
And Tomahawk Joe shows up. And he is so like from the top, and I show him the swing on my phone. I'm like, what are you doing? You took $20 from me on Monday. Because
he needs one of these in his bag.
But he didn't even remember.
Oh,
He
wow.
looked at me like blind in the face, like, oh yeah. I go, that was Monday, it's Friday. And we just talked about it in warm-ups. But that's how unnatural it is to get the club to go over here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one more thing, and we can help some people with this one. So here's a really good tip when you try to make the swing change. Because a lot of people, when they actually make the better swing, the face is still wide open because they've never learned how to fix the club face to square it up. And if you're trying to square the club face up when you're getting to impact, that's really hard. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you a little drill. It's called splash the pool, okay? So you want to picture that we're actually hitting golf balls in a pool of water about waist high. So when James goes to the top of his swing and he starts to swing down correctly here, see where his club face is? That's going right, okay? That's going to go right. So he's swinging correctly, but he's not maybe used to it. Good players will, watch what I'm going to do. Watch his left wrist here. Watch this feeling. So I rotated. I turn this down. Not your right. Right soft, the left. Your left wrist will actually rotate down just a little. So once it hits that like pretend water line, it's going to splash the pool.
Oh, instead of digging in with the
Yeah,
heel.
if you come in with the heel, it's going to slide into the water.
Yeah.
And the splash would kind of be that way.
Yeah.
You want to splash the club down. Okay, now that's exaggerated, but that's the feeling.
But that's what you need to feel.
Yeah, those of you that slice, if you can feel that in transition as you're getting the club to fall here and not come over, you're going to have to square the face up. Now, you don't have to do it exactly like this, but this is a move that helps a lot of people. So when I'm teaching them how not to come over, I have to teach them how to like feel something to square. Now, if you do that too much, obviously the balls are going to go that way, right? And so if you really do follow my instruction program, or those of you that are in Shoot Part Now or training online, we want the club to have a really good path, relatively square into impact, and we want the face square, right? We want the path to be, really neutral, like 2 or 0 as we approach the ball, and we want the face to be relatively square. If you're struggling with the slice from over the top and an open face, you can fix it by using something like this, but I'm telling you, a lot of people will fix this, but the ball will still go that way. We just have to kind of...
Because they still got the club face up.
Right. So that's called splash the pull.
They've got the path inside, but the club face is not.
Yeah, and it's in your wrist and hands. Yeah, there's a rotation with that left forearm. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. No, you don't want to cast it. You just want to, you want to go, when you get here, as the club's getting here, you feel that. Okay. But your right hand's grabbing it too hard. It's got a soft, and there you go. Okay. So when the angles are still here, you don't want to release your angles, right?
Yeah.
You're going to hold it a little bit and then boom. But anyway, so that's going to be our tip for this week's episode. So if you want to improve your slice, you got to get the club to approach from the inside. Inside means your target line on the ground is like 0, and you want to come slightly inside of that target line to the target. And then if you're doing that correctly, and you can swing under this or create a good divot, you want to make sure your face is square in transition. Try not to think that you're going to square it up right at impact. It's going too fast at the bottom. Okay? All right, that's your tip. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.